parte davanti col numero 28 per il team GRT Lorenzo Funari, lo affianca col 101, ma scusate, parte davanti con il numero 1 Benz Balov, nota ungherese che finora ha vinto tutte le gare e quindi è il grande protagonista con la Imola. Lo affianca col numero 1 Tamas poi in seconda fila con il 21 Daniel Palma della scuderia. Racing, quindi di fianco a Palma ritroviamo il controllo svedese con 52 Paul Marshall, francese del Racing Team Lotus terza fila con numero 76 per la scuderia Ultimate Lightweight.com Roman Andrzejczyk, pilota tedesco con numero 6 per il team Asphalt Alexandro Valentin, francese, quarta fila con numero 88 per la scuderia Comotech.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Lotus Cup Europe. It's race number 2 here at Imola, race number 6 of the championship in total so far. And here, as they always say, in the Lotus Cup Europe, there's always a Hungarian, and well, there are 2 of them at the front. And as you can see, the Hungarians have a massive fan club. Tamas Vizin, honestly, his entourage is ridiculous. He is the most famous Hungarian Lotus driver in the history of the world. I'm telling you that right now, it's a fact. Daniel Palmer then starts in P3. I had a little chat with him earlier today as well. He's got a very funky scooter. And I was also told that he used to be very hot-headed and not so much anymore. I'm not sure about that, though. Still got a little bit about him, I'm sure. But he's got smiley faces on his car, so what could be the worst thing that could go wrong here today? Paul Marachal then in 4th position. Involved in that very unfortunate incident yesterday. And just to let all of you fans know, Mick actually went to hospital last night in Bologna. He will need to stay there for a couple of days to be checked, but should be discharged over the next couple of days. And yeah, just our thoughts are with Mick and his recovery, and hopefully all is going to be good. Also, Bailey was actually not going to race this race, but Mick himself has said, no, Bailey, you're absolutely going to go and race today. And, well, you know, when your dad tells you you've got to race, right? So Bailey will be starting today, and fantastic. Fair play to him, because yeah, I'm sure he was a little bit shaken up with it all. And, well, I'm sure we're going to see something very special from the young driver in the number 33. It's Sven Pettersson in the Como Tech, number 88 from Sweden, starting in 7th position. We just missed there Andrzejczyk and Valenci as well. So Andrzejczyk for the ultimatelightweight.com, definitely not sponsored of me, in 5th position. And then we've got Valenci for Asfalte in 6th position. Thierry Verheist, met him today as well, had a nice little chat as well for Racing Team Lotus Verheist. Next driver on our grid then is Rainer Bergens for the Como Tech Lotus Am Ring. Are we going to get a wave here? Yes, absolutely. And a thumbs up and a wink. What a guy. What a guy. Lock up your sisters and your mothers. Bergens around. Robin Nielsen for Nibor Sports GFS Racing Team starts down in P10. Nod of the head there, but very focused. Tibor Valent in the Hargetal Racing KFT GFS Racing Team. Almost the longest name in racing. 2nd. Nice little thumb up there as well. Georgi Ballo then in the number 113 for GFS Racing Team. Focused, looking straight forward. Oh, we're looking. Thumb up. A wave. Ah, okay. Mr. Serious. We like it. Jean-Pierre Genot-Prachet, who came into this weekend 2nd in the championship. And with it being an open top, there's nowhere to hide. No chance of a wave here, though. Focus mode engaged. And the number 79. And then we've got Natalie Genot-Prachet as well. JPN by Asfalte. Eyes on the camera for sure. Focus mode engaged again. Bence Ballo starts on pole, then with Tamas Vizin in second position. We've then got Daniel Palmer and Paul Marichal in third and fourth. Ronald Andrzejczyk and Alexandre Valenci are in fifth and sixth. Sven Pettersson in seventh and Thierry Verheist in eighth. Rainer Bergens in ninth. And in 10th position, Robin Nielsen. Also, Paul Marichal was actually disqualified from the race yesterday due to the incident as well, so he lost his podium, and actually Daniel Palmer received the third position. Tibor Valent in 11th spot, then with Georgi Ballo in 12th, Jean-Pierre Genot-Prachet, and in 14th, Natalie Genot-Prachet. Easy name to say, obviously, in 13th and 14th position, respectively. Toby Goodman and David McNulty are in 15th and 16th position. And then we've got Jason McNulty in 17th, Bailey Edwards for Comfort Racing in 18th position, and Dave Carr in a car in 19th. So the pace car has indeed started. So now we're just waiting for all of the drivers to indeed be ready. 30 minutes of racing action. It is actually our final race of the weekend here as well. So hopefully we have an absolute worldie of a race. Doors are open. I'm sure if you ask the drivers if they would like to race with the door open, with the heat we've got right now, they'd probably say yes, but it's not the most aerodynamic thing in the world. It's a bit like me running. Not ideal. Just to talk about the little classes in this as well, we've got GTC. There's 3 cars in that. Bence Ballo pole, Pettersson in 7th, and then we've got Georgi Ballo in 12th position. And then we've got the EXC class. So we've got Vizin, Palmer, Marichal, Andrzejczyk, and Valenci, who are in 2nd down to 6th position. Then we've got Thierry Verheist, Bergens, and Nielsen, 8th down to 10th. Then we've got the 2110 production class. We've got Genot-Prachet's, both of them in that, and indeed David McNulty. And then we've got the production class. It's Goodman, it's Jason McNulty, it is Bailey Edwards, and Dave Carr. So hopefully that helped you out. They're battling it out to be the overall champion of this, and they're also battling within their classes as well. Oh, the fans still give us a wave. The energy's still high here, even though it's the final race of the weekend. We've had 6 championships this weekend, but there's still enthusiasm around the air. It's great to see. So there we go. Off the grid we go. As we have a full formation lap. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is the first time I've been actually at the race circuit with the Lotus Cup Europe. I've commentated on many rounds for them over the last 3 years, but the first time I've ever heard them in real life. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't think they would sound that loud. I didn't think I was going to be that impressed by the sound of them. They are so loud. It's ridiculous. They are really loud. I thought they were going to sound more like lawnmowers with wheels. Nope. Nope. They are ridiculously loud. They're very impressive bits of machinery. Trying to get the best vantage point possible here. Looks like we've got David Bailey behind giving some instructions. Another David Bailey wannabe there in the with the camera, trying to find the best vantage point for some pictures. And I'm sure there's been some incredible pictures. Look at the background here. You'd think we're in the middle of the countryside. One side of the track, the background is the middle of the countryside. The other side is the city. It is very unique. Very, very unique indeed. As we see the fans on the big screen there. Oh, kisses, waves, everything. This is great. With this level of enthusiasm, I reckon within about 10 minutes we're going to see them all on the floor asleep. You don't want to be moving that quick in this heat, I can assure you that. As we see some really good flag waving there. It's definitely at least a 6 out of 10. Could do with the speed being up there, but I would say a 6 out of 10 for that flag waving. So there's the number 52 we just saw there, Marichal coming through that final chicane. As we are about to embark upon our race. 30 minutes of action. Oh, this should be good. As we go around that final corner. See Bence Ballo there, P1, Tamas Vizin, P2, and then Daniel Palmer in P3. That is how the race finished, of course, for race 1 of the weekend. Would it finish like that again? Well, who knows? Because if it can happen, it will happen in this championship, I can assure you. I was just about to say, there's all smiley faces on that car. There isn't, actually. There's lots of emotions, which Daniel Palmer, I've been told, shows quite often. So, very appropriate livery. And I know that Daniel does watch the broadcast back, so I'm only having a bit of fun. So there is your grid. They're about to line up then. 3-time Lotus Cup Europe champion Bence Ballo on pole. 2-time champion Tamas Vizin in second spot. Both in different classes. Tamas's family and entourage and fan club all waving there just below my commentary box. I reckon there's at least, I don't know, 4,500 fans for him just here watching him at Imola. Incredible stuff, though. And I think everyone in this championship has their family watching them in the stands, which is fantastic to see as well. It does really does have that family feel as a championship, to be honest. I very much enjoyed having a chat with some of the drivers, some of the teams over the course of this weekend. As we get the final drivers heading towards their grid slot here. Wow, we're about to go green light racing then. The green flag has been waved. There's the red light. So now we are lights out and racing here. Daniel Palmer's got an absolute flyer. At the inside, down towards turn number 1 we will go. And Tamas Vizin has been caught napping off the start here. And can he make the move stick? He absolutely is going to back out of it. Tamas Vizin then does hold on to P2. It's a phenomenal start. It's just not quite worked out there. It looks like Thierry Verheist has gained some positions as well. Pedersen and Valencia were going at it side by side in the background as Marachal's just back there in P4. We know that actually he becomes a little bit stronger as the race goes on. Verheist then defending for Pedersen. Borgens just in behind as well in that blue car. Oh no, Robert Nielsen and Valent as well battling for position as we see off the circuit we go. And that is indeed Dave Carr off there into the gravel. So not a good start there. Bailey Edwards already making up 1 spot in this race already. So a really good start there from Bailey. Again, just have to let you know that he was, I was told he'd withdrawn this morning. And then Mick had decided, and with Bailey, no, you've got to race. You go in there and get involved in this race. So right now, Bailey's going to do his absolute best to give us a performance to remember for sure. Up towards then the final chicane for the very first time. Tamas Vizin is relatively close here to Bence Ballo. Ballo's car maybe around about sort of 6 to 7 tenths of a second a lap we've seen so far this weekend faster. Tamas Vizin is absolutely keeping tabs, even though he had Daniel Palmer battling ferociously. Start is under investigation here. So we've got the start under investigation. So I wonder what that is for here. Well, can we see anyone jump potentially? Lights go out. Oh, that looks good. Looks really good. Not sure anybody could have jumped there from my eyes, but then again, I'm trying to look at 18 different cars start. We can't see Daniel Palmer start from there because he's behind Bence Ballo. But as you can see on the inside up towards turn number 1, it's 3 wide, a bit further back as well. But Daniel Palmer had an opportunity to try and make the move, and not quite going to work out there though. As I'm not sure that was, I think it looked like a Porsche Cup car there. I'm not sure that was a Lotus we were just looking at. As we head down to turn 1, there we go. You see Palmer actually was ahead going into turn number 1, but just had to brake a little bit earlier here. Oh, hold on. No, it looked, you know, it looked like a Porsche Cup there had gone off the circuit, but I think we might have been getting a replay from a different race there. And as you can see at the back there, Dave Carr just off the circuit ever so slightly. But manages to recoup and regroup. We're all good. As we're on board then with our race leader through Piratella. There's Palmer, who yesterday was in this very position. We go a bit further back then. It's Andrzejczyk versus Valencia. And Andrzejczyk has made the move stick then in that Como Tech car. The number 76 is ahead of Valencia now. Valencia in that all-yellow car now. Thierry Verheist is also trying to come through as well. He's got Sven Pettersson, though, really close behind him. Got Borgens there battling for position really close behind them as well as Nielsen. So Nielsen's not too far behind. If there's any kind of potential contact or slowing down, then you are going to be expecting him to get involved here very soon as well. Through that final chicane, they do indeed come. Still 26.5 minutes to go, so plenty of time for any potential moves to be made. As we head down the hill underneath that deck for a bridge. And as you can see, Thierry Weiss, they're going defensive. Not sure he needed to do that, to be completely honest. Oh, there's some contact. Well, the number 55 absolutely did need to go defensive there. Wasn't quite quick enough to do so. And then Borgens, it is Borgens, is off the circuit once again. Comes back on. Gets on the power a little bit too excitedly. And now he's back on again. Is there damage? That car's crabbing. That is some damage. That is a game over, unfortunately. Unless there was just a load of gravel stuck between the wheel and the arch, and we're all good now. Oh, it's a lunge, wasn't it? It was a lunge there. Robin Nielsen probably should have backed out of that position there, if I'm honest. Oh, look at that. Look at that car bouncing around. So you see the aftermath here. Into the gravel we go. And if there's any damage, where does the damage come from? I'm not sure the impact was hard enough or in the right position there to have caused the car to be crabbing. I'm wondering whether enough gravel's been caught up in there that stopped it. No. That's definitely driving not in a straight line. To drive in a straight line, he's got right hand down. So that is unfortunately a game over. That will be a suspension issue or a steering issue. And I'm not sure that coming through the pits here. Well, I can assure you now that this will be a meatball flag, 100%. So I think you're fine. We will have a we've got a drive-through penalty here for the number 21 as well. So Palmer has got a false start here. So that is a drive-through penalty for Palmer. But I think you'll find here, Borgens will be receiving a meatball flag. What the meatball flag is a black flag with an orange dot in the middle, which means there's sufficient damage on the car, and that means you have to come into the pits to either get it repaired or retire the car. And the car is quite literally driving sideways. That's what we mean by crabbing. Crabs walk sideways. So yeah, that just doesn't look like... it doesn't look like... Yeah, well, there we go. So through the pits we go. The damage wasn't enough to just stop in the pits. And ultimately, stops a little bit further along the circuit, but in a position where we're not going to need a safety car. Daniel Palmer then takes his drive-through penalty, and this is a long old pit lane. It's a long start-finish straight here, so this will feel like an absolute age, and it will be, and more than likely, we'll end up right at the back here. Could end up right near the back. Might even end up behind these two 2110 cars in Genode Prochet and indeed, well, both Genode Prochets. As Natalie Genode Prochet leads the two of them here. Jean-Pierre trying to make a potential move. And this will be interesting when it comes to the mill tonight. I'll tell you that right now. The incident between cars 55 and 59, no further action needed. Which I think is the right decision there, to be honest. It was a late lunge. It is what it is. Ooh. That would have made the meal tonight very, very interesting there if Jean-Pierre wasn't able to get on the brakes as well as he did eventually there. So we're on board now with the number 52. So this is Marichal, currently in P3. So the incident that he was involved in yesterday, unfortunately, got him disqualified from the race, which was a podium. So he had the trophy, and it wasn't him that picked up the trophy. It was one of his mechanics who had the best day of his life by the look of his face. The smile on his face was absolutely ridiculous. Fair play to him. But then it was taken away from the team. So today, it's a fight, but it's not with Palmer. Palmer, of course, who we know took the P3 in the end. They had a massive fight between Marichal and Palmer. But this time, we've got Andrzejczyk involved here. So Andrzejczyk trying to make a move here on Marichal to grab that final position on the podium. Grab themselves a trophy. 22 minutes still to go in this race, so plenty of time for any kind of moves to happen. But as you can see, it just looks like there might be a little bit more straight line speed for Marichal. Through the corners, though, Andrzejczyk seems to be able to go a little bit later. I love that. I love that. He's got his hands over his ears. Oh, it's too loud for me, but cannot keep his eyes off it. That is motorsport in a nutshell. Sometimes the cars are too loud, but you don't want to leave. You want to stay there. As Palmer now splits the Genode Prochets. And there's some nodding of the head in that car. So something's happened there that's not ideal. And we're about to see it, I think. Oh, no, maybe not. It's Tamas Vizin. Whenever we have a replay, it's either something bad's happened or something cool's happened. And by the looks of things, this one is something cool. Tamas Vizin there. All he needs now is some sunglasses to appear and pop over his eyes. Because that was very nice to look at. So Palmer now ahead of the 2110 cars. Now up to a top 10. He needs to now catch up. He's a fair chunk of change behind Georgi Ballo. It's nearly 20 seconds. It's nearly 20 seconds to make up here. As into the pits then comes the number 59, and that is indeed Nilsson. So Nilsson has unfortunately, I think, got damage from the incident between Bergens, and it's ended his race as well. So this is P2. That was Tamas Vizin. Here is P1. Bence Ballo. An absolute legend of the Lotus Cup Europe scene. Very similarly to Tamas Vizin as well. The two drivers that generally are battling at the front of the championship. And they tend to battle each other on circuit. Even though they're in different classes this season, they're still very, very close. Only 3.5 seconds between the two of them. So fantastic to see. As we go a little bit further back here, we've got David McNulty and Toby Goodman in behind. So this is now a battle for what would be P13. Goodman seems to be absolutely carving through those corners, no problems whatsoever. As here is Natalie Genod-Prechet. Now behind Jean-Pierre. And that Lotus, look how smiley and happy it looks. Not sure the driver's smiley and happy. We saw lots of shaking of the head. And I'm wondering, actually, it might be to do with the sun in the eyes, actually. I think it actually might have a lot to do with having sun in the eyes going down the back straight. Yeah, definitely the sun is coming in from that angle. So that might be what it is. This is still the battle for that podium spot. Andrzejczyk trying to steal one away from Marichal. How long is this battle going to go on for? Can Marichal hold on to this position? Ooh, just runs a little bit wide there as well. Runs even further wide the next part of the circuit. We're weaving here to try and stop any potential tow being given here to Andrzejczyk through that final chicane. And again, it's very similar. I think you'll find Marichal's got more pace. Oh, well, it doesn't matter now, as we have got a Lotus that wants to be like a happy dog. The rear wanted to become the front wanted to become the rear. We're all the way around. And that's one way of getting the sponsors on screen. And once battling for P3, in a little bit of trouble now, as Georgi Ballo might be able to get the overtake as well. So following very closely there. Lots of curb on entry, and there we go. There it is. That's all it takes, is your rear wheels up in the air. You put the power down. The wheels are in the air. And unfortunately, when they hit the ground, they're rotating far too quickly because they've had no resistance whatsoever. And then the car, because you've got some steering input in, just wants to go around. And that's almost impossible. I would actually say if your car rear tyres are in the air like that, and there's no friction at all, I think it's impossible to save something like that. It's just very, very unfortunate. But there is 2x2 battles everywhere around this circuit as it stands. Some incredible action. But yeah, absolutely everywhere. Georgi's caught up to the back then of Andrzejczyk. And Andrzejczyk's kind of given Daniel Palmer a bit of a freebie to catch up to him as well. Palmer is around about 16 seconds behind these. I actually don't think Palmer's going to be able to catch up to this group. And that's how bad it is, as there's some, well, dust beans kicked up around this part of the circuit. I wonder who that was from. I'm sure we will find out. I'm sure we absolutely will find out. Through Tosa. And up the hill we come. Well, here you go then. So it actually had to be a move made. So Georgi Ballo was momentarily ahead of the number 76. But now Andrzejczyk is off to try and chase down Valint. How many positions can Andrzejczyk grab here? Do you know what? I reckon he potentially could grab maybe 3 or 4 if he's still got 16 minutes, 40 seconds to go. I think you'll find that Andrzejczyk could potentially still get P4. Another replay here. And well, we know that Bence Ballow's leading this race, so is it a disaster or is it cool? We know it's going to be cool. And it's another Lotus coming through the chicane. The GF Racing team, gold, black, with the red trim. Taking that chicane like it doesn't even exist. Delightful bit of work here. We've got Carr here in behind Bailey Edwards. So Bailey Edwards racing for Comfort Racing. And you've got ES Motorsport in behind, represented by Carr. And I think this might be a nice little battle as well. I think this could be very, very close indeed. As we come down to Aqua Minerale. Up towards that final chicane we come then to Bailey Edwards, who again was withdrawn from this race due to the incident that happened with his dad last night. And his dad's like, don't be silly, get involved. And he absolutely has got involved here and is delivering really good performance here from Bailey. Down towards Rivazza for the very final time. And they're actually being caught here by our lead car in a GTC class, Bence Ballow. But this battle between the 33 and 20 is definitely going to develop over the course of the next half of this race, because we're only just over the halfway point of this race. And as you can see, the straight line speed very much favours Dave Carr, as Carr lets the lead car come through of Bence Ballow, and so does Bailey Edwards. So they both lost about the same amount of time there. But I think you'll find that if Bailey gets caught on that straight and they're really close, it might be a bit of a freebie initially to Carr. But I just feel that Bailey is a little bit quicker through the corners. You've got Tamas Vizin in behind here. I'm wondering, last lap here. Let's have a look at Bence Ballow's last lap. Okay, he was still half a second faster. And well, no, I'm wrong. I thought that they might be asleep with the enthusiasm showed, but we're over halfway in this race and they are still waving. They are still smiling. And well, I must admit, we did see it again. They're blowing kisses as well to the cameras. We absolutely love to see it. It's been a long, long weekend, but to still be supporting like that, fair play. Still the lead, though, 4.3 seconds. I was just about to say, I think Tamas Vizin might have been slowly catching up. But I'm not overly sure. Sector times here. Yeah, the first sector, Tamas Vizin was 0.8 of a second faster. In the middle sector, he was 0.3 of a second slower. So nearly half a second gain so far on this lap alone. I'm wondering now whether Bence Ballow might have just taken his foot off the gas, pardon the pun. I'm not too sure, really. But we'll keep an eye on the gap, that's for sure. As it stands, though, Bence Ballow still leads. Vizin in second. We've got this Bailey Edwards versus Dave Carr battle as well. This is a battle for P15 in the race, but in the production class, this is actually a battle for P2. Tone B. Goodman is currently leading the race in terms of the production class, but he's a little bit further up the road. So through the second chicane they come. And again, I do want to mention, very similarly to like the Ginetta Juniors, these cars, and this is going to sound so silly to many people out there who watch this, these cars genuinely look like they've got smiley faces on the front of them. I'm sorry, I'm only going to mention it once, but does that not look like a smiley face? It does. I've got it off my chest. I had to mention it, but they all look so happy going around the circuit, which makes me happy, makes me smile. Natalie Genot-Prechet then currently residing in the position of P12. Coming down in towards Rivazza. with 11 minutes 30 seconds left on the clock. Again, Bello leads Vizin. The gap now 3.9 seconds. So yeah, absolutely here. Vizin is catching up. He took nearly half a second out of Bello on that lap here. So again, I'm going to have to keep an eye on that, because if Bence has got some performance issues here, an overall race win, Tamas Vizin's not really had the greatest start of the season. Actually, he has missed a race. So this could be vital in terms of the overall championship if Vizin was to potentially get up into the lead of this race. The gap, oh wow, okay. Sliding into the week, sliding out of the weekend. For sure, as Goodman has indeed been lapped now. So that is Toby Goodman. He's in the number 85 in the sort of bluey grey car, I guess. And then this is the battle for second position in that class. You can see that they've got now the number 52 of Marichal coming up behind him. Oh, number 30 is off the circuit. That is indeed Valent. And I'm not sure whether he's done that all on his own. We did see another car involved, well, not involved, in shot. And that was on the exit of the chicane. So very slip-slidey through there for sure, because that's not the first time we've seen that happen as well. As Andrashek here is going to get a bit of a freebie with 10 minutes to go. And no, all on your own. And yeah, there you go. Just didn't turn the car enough. Didn't get enough rotation in the car, let's say. Runs off too wide into the curb. Was then really worried about hitting the yellow curbing and damaging the underside of the car and really having a problem. And then just basically put too much power and input whilst also turning the car a little bit too much. And your rear becomes the front and the front becomes the rear. So Valent getting overtaken by Andrashek. Andrashek up to P7 now. And again, a realistic chance here of catching up to 6th, 5th and 4th with, 9 minutes, 30 seconds to go. It's going to be tough, but I tell you what, that is a driver we need to definitely keep an eye on. Andrashek now up to P7. And how much damage can he do? How far up the order can he go? The gap then between the lead is now 4.3 seconds. So Bence Balla has been given the hurry up and saying, actually, you're losing time here. You need to get a shift on. And, well, he is duly delivering that as it stands. 9 minutes left on the clock. The gap now 4.3 seconds. So just come out ever so slightly. Vizin, Marichal, P3 as it stands. And we've got then Bailey Edwards coming out of the pits here. So what has happened there? I'm not sure what's happened there. We've got nothing to see. Yeah, we've got absolutely nothing in the race director to say that he should have come through the pits there. So I have no idea. I'm wondering whether they've stopped and there's something's been taken out of the radiator potentially or something like that. But yeah, there's nothing from the race director to say that there was a penalty of a drive-through or anything like that. And I think Bailey Edwards is going very slowly here. There might be an issue with this car. Yeah, I think there might be an issue with this car. Natalie Genot-Prochet then does indeed move up. That was full position. No, it wasn't. It's to put a lap on Bailey, actually. But that car looks slow. And doesn't the rear... Oh, okay, so there's lots of dust there. Oh, this is very interesting. Well, it's actually going to be Toby Goodman, I think, potentially sliding off. No, it's not. There's the number 7. Still looks like a happy car with that smiley face at the front there. And that is one of those where it still looks cool, but it's a bit of a disaster. It looks cool, but it's not very fast. David McNulty, though, has got a little bit of a highlight there. Stays in the same position, holds it on. Lovely old job. I think the cameramen and women have absolutely heard about the smiley faces in the front of these cars and now trying to find the most smiley ones. They do look so happy. Once you've seen it, ladies and gentlemen, you can't unsee it. I've told you that. So anyone watching this, once you've seen the smiley faces, that's it. Forever now, when you watch the Lotus Cup Europe, you're just like, they really do look like happy cars. So yeah, David McNulty there running off the circuit, but again, managing to hang on. Bailey Edwards on the outlap here, still not sure whether that car is in 100% nick. As McNulty there does indeed get out the way of a car on the lead lap. It's the number 6. And that is Valenci, currently in P4. Andrashek is closing in on... Oh no, Valent, I think, has got past Andrashek. So Valent is back up ahead of Andrashek here. Incredible stuff. It's actually been a really good race, hasn't it? a fantastic race. It's been relatively quiet, but what has happened has been exceptional. As Bence Ballo then does put a lap there on Natalie Genot-Prochet. Still grabbing plenty of curb. Such a talented driver. Looking to make it 4 Lotus Cup Europe Championships this season. And on the form I've seen him this week, that is a massive, massive possibility. Still got 4 rounds to go in this championship as well. So still plenty of racing action, still plenty of races for these drivers this season to get those results in. As we now see Tamas Vizin has also now got to get past the 2110 car. As Natalie Genot-Prochet stays to the left there, as we see a replay here. And I'm very much surprised. We've pretty much seen every car in the world cutting that chicane, but that there is well, let's say on the limit. I'm very surprised that's not going to be looked at, to be completely honest, but I think the time was lost there by bouncing. So it's not just Mercedes that have issues with porpoising. We've got a Lotus have that issue as well. More to do with going up a ramp and jumping. But nonetheless, here's your race leader. 5 minutes left on the clock then, and barring any massive issues here, this is going to be a fantastic race victory for Bence Ballo. Tamas Vizin then in second position, 5 seconds adrift as it stands. Marichal 32.7 seconds off of the lead as well. Valenci maybe not quite got the pace to go and get that podium. Verheist and Pettersson then are ahead of Valent. Andrzejczyk, who was fighting for P3 and then fell off the racetrack, just hasn't really found any form since then. So must have damage from that incident earlier on, because the pace he was showing earlier on was absolutely phenomenal. Not so much anymore. Tamas Vizin loves sliding that car around. Absolutely loves sliding that car around. Looks like Toby Goodman's just been overtaken there by Sven Pettersson. And Goodman is going to take victory here in the production class. And again, just to go through the 4 classes right now, in the GTC Championship, Bence Ballo is your lead car, not just in the class, but overall, of course. The next GTC car is Sven Pettersson down in P6, and then Georgi Ballo is in P9 right now for GTC. In the EXC class, we've got Vizin, who leads the way, Marichal second, Valenci in third, and then Verheist in 4th position. The next 2 cars then are Valent and Andrzejczyk in 7th and 8th position. Palmer is in 10th position there as well. He had a drive-through penalty earlier on for not having, well, just having a false start effectively. Then in for the next class, it's the 2110s. We've then got Jean-Pierre Genot-Prochet, came into the championship today, this weekend, 2nd overall, and has won his class twice in a row this weekend if it stays like it is. So yeah, absolutely keeping that pressure on Bence Ballo for the overall championship. Then we've got David McNulty in 3rd position as well, behind Natalie Genot-Prochet. And then the final class, the production class, we've got Toby Goodman, who's currently in P13 in that number 85 for the Motorsport UK Academy Tilex. And then we've got Dave Carr and Bailey Edwards, who were battling pretty much for the whole race until we saw a mistake, as we could see some waving potentially to the crowd. Or is this a case of we're letting the car go by and there might be an issue with the number 14? I think there might be an issue with the number 14 here. And then we've got some retirements here, some Nielsen and Borgens. And this is a retirement, isn't it? Into the pits we go, and that's why the hand was coming out. So this car not having the best of times, and that will actually promote David McNulty into 2nd spot in the class here. So yes, David McNulty will now be in 2nd for the 2110 class. 1 minute 58 seconds remain on the clock, down towards Aqua Minerale. And wow, it's a quick, I'm going into the pits. What, was there a text message that needed to be replied to? I'm not too sure what's happened there. But into the pits we go, and back out the pits we come. No problem whatsoever. So there we go. We'll see the number 14 popping out of the pits. Visor down. Serious mode engaged. As we head to our leader then, Benzballo, Tamas Vizin second. And that is not Tamas Vizin, by the way. That's the number 20. So this is a lap down Dave Carr. In behind him, you'll see there'll be 2 red cars now. There's one, and the second one is the second position, the Como Tech car. In second spot was Jean-Pierre. Geno Prochet is also just in behind. So Benzballo has started the final lap of the race, the final lap of the weekend as well. And it's been a very dominant performance from him. It's been a very dominant performance from Tamas Vizin as well in the EXC class. And if you want, they always say if you want to win, hire a Finn. Not in the Lotus Cup Europe. If you want to win, hire a Hungarian. It's always a Hungarian. They are ridiculously talented when it comes to the Lotus Cup Europe. And me personally, I come from a sim racing background. The Hungarians are very good at that too. Marechal, who had his podium taken away from him yesterday because of the incident that happened on circuit. Looks like he might be able to right the wrong straight away by picking up a podium in this race here as well. Valenci in 4th right now, Verheist in 5th. Pedersen, Valint, Andrzejczyk, Ballo, and Palmer are your top 10. But luckily we get to see a nice end of it up there. Oh, some flames, lovely. Nice little treat there as the Lotus spits some flames out. Up towards that final chicane we will come. Ride height on the front there, so much different to the ride height in the rear. No curbs being grabbed on the final lap. Nope, we're staying as far away from them as possible. Makes complete sense, that's for sure. And you've got a 6-second gap. Just guarantee that victory. You've done the hard work, Bence. You've done the hard work. Down in towards the final couple of corners we will go. Again, staying as far away from the curves pretty much as possible. Through Ravazza for the very final time. And the Hungarians once again dominating here for the Lotus Cup Europe. Across the line it will be for Benzballo. It's 2 wins from 2 for him, not only in the GTC class, but overall for the weekend here at Imola. Tamas Vizin will take 2 victories in his class in the EXC, but it's 2 second places overall today and yesterday. Incredible stuff from both of them. Jean-Pierre Geno Prochet waving across the line as he comes across the line a lap down, but ultimately will take the class victory for the 2110s. Marechal will be gutted with how things ended yesterday for sure, but today he's going to pick up that podium. And I'm sure he will be on the podium opposed to his mechanic, who had the best day of his life picking up the P3 trophy yesterday on the podium. So I'm very sad for that mechanic. Haven't met the guy, but I've never seen someone quite so happy in my life. He had a great time. Checker flag coming down then on Thierry Verheist. Sven Pettersson, Valint will be next. Georgi Ballo, Palmer, Andrzejczyk then is your top 10. Jean-Pierre Geno Prochet in 11th. Goodman, McNulty, Carr, Natalie Geno Prochet. Bailey Edwards will be your last driver in P16 classified. Robin Nielsen and Bergens 17th and 18th position, but unfortunately they both are retirements from this race. So here's P3. It is Paul Marechal. Second position then, Tamas Vizin, 2-time champion of the Lotus Cup Europe. And with the results he's put in so far this weekend, could potentially make a charge for that 3rd. But the only unfortunate thing for him is this guy. Benzballo, 3-time champion of this championship, just won't stop winning. P1 again for the number 1 car, as we've come to expect. It's the Benzballo show here at Imola. Here's your overall results then. Bence Ballo does win the race for GFS Racing Team. Tamas Vizin for BV Motorsport Comatec takes second. Paul Marichal takes third for Racing Team Lotus Verheist. We've then got Valenci, who takes the P4 for Asfalte. Thierry Verheist takes P5 for Racing Team Lotus Verheist as well. Petterson for Comatec takes 6th. Vilint for Hargital Racing KFT GFS Racing Team, that's a mouthful, takes 7th position. We've then got Georgi Ballo for GFS Racing Team taking 8th position. Palmer, who had a drive-through penalty today for Skeena Equestrian GFS Racing Team, takes P9. And then the top 10, it was Andrzejczyk for UltimateLightweight.com. And then we've got Jean-Pierre Genode Prochet for JPN by Asfalte, Toby Goodman for Motorsport UK Academy Tilex, David McNulty for Able Care ES Motorsport, ES Motorsports Dave Carr 14th, Natalie Genode Prochet for JPN by Asfalte, and then we've got Bailey Edwards for Comfort Racing in 16th position, and then we've got Robin Nielsen, we've got Bergens, and indeed Jason McNulty at the end. Someone's very happy. What a result.
Stiamo preparando ovviamente per il podio, attendiamo l'ok per accogliere i protagonisti di questa Lotus Cup Europe. Vogliamo ricordare che dopo l'assoluta avremo poi le premiazioni specifiche dedicate alle varie classi che vengono a comporre la vincente Lotus Cup Europe. Una serie iniziata al Paul Ricard in Francia, poi il secondo atto a Hockenheim in Germania e ora ovviamente i saliscendi del meraviglioso autodromo del Santerno Enzo Dino Ferrari di Imola a ospitare il terzo atto della serie continentale delle vetture britanniche. Aspettiamo l'ok per recarci sul podio con i protagonisti, un podio che vede tre mattatori, uno che ha continuato il suo grande la sua grande performance che è proseguita dopo i successi fino ad oggi. Bene, si dissedono anche perché il caldo nelle vetture è stato veramente torrido. Appena riceveremo l'ok possiamo procedere. al terzo posto con un grande applauso dal Lussemburgo il numero 52 Paul Marchenal. Un bel applauso a Paul che arriva dal Lussemburgo e guadagna il terzo gradino del podio. E ora prepariamoci a scalarlo in seconda piazza dall'Ungheria, terra magiara. Andiamo ad accogliere il numero 81 Tamás Vicin, argento in questa grande prova come ieri. E come ieri andiamo a salutare ancora una volta il vincitore, grande mattatore del campionato con la livrea e il numero 1. Un bel applauso per l'asso ungherese Benz Balov che conquista il gradino più alto del podio, pronto ad accomodarsi. E ora con un balzo solleviamo il cappello per ascoltare l'inno nazionale ungherese. Un grande applauso al podio e ora siamo di nuovo in compagnia di Marion Engler che rappresenta l'attività sportiva per Lotus Cup Europe in tutte le tappe continentali, e con il trofeo di bronzo ci portiamo verso il terzo classificato Paul Marchenal. Un applauso al pilota del Lussemburgo che guadagna il trofeo di bronzo assoluto in questa gara di Imola dopo questa seconda prova. È il momento dell'argento, per cui trofeo d'argento dalla parte opposta del podio per l'asso ungherese Tamás Vicin. Seconda posizione per lui, trofeo d'argento per Tamás come ieri. La soddisfazione, ricordiamo i piloti, le vetture sono tutte gommate Avon Tires per quanto riguarda la copertura. E ora è il momento di accogliere il vincitore, la conferma, il sesto centro consecutivo per il pilota ungherese, leader di campionato Benz Balov. Siamo ora pronti per le foto, so please can you take place all together on the same step of the podium, please, really close to each other. Can you just climb the first step all together with the trophies, picking up your trophies, please. Marshall, merci. A questo punto, con queste immagini, queste foto, è il momento di festeggiare. Champagne! E poi, terminato il podio, lo ricordiamo, le classifiche speciali, si prosegue con le classifiche speciali mentre noi andiamo in postazione.
Everybody loves the word champagne here at Imola. It's a glorious word. Well, that's the Lotus Cup Europe for the weekend here at Imola. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all next time out.